Operation Rapper Inquisition. Still here. Operation Rapper Inquisition. All the gods and goddesses. Iron Sheik. Hip Hop lives, yo. The deaf won't hear and the blind won't see the hidden message in the words of Drew Ali. Inept, indirectly, Boo Ali, one of the names of the prophets internationally. Drew said Moors, proclaim your nationality, cause you're not Ethiopian or NBC. So he founded America's MST in 28. Me saying that they will cause debates are needed to clear up the mess. But most debate so they can big up their chest to prove what they know and what they can do. Recreating the wheel that was created by Drew. When you know the truth, many debate, but few humble themselves and suppress the jungle himself. To them, I just do me, keeping my gold while they trade in their jewelry. Tariq and nature base school me. You fool me in your dreams. Dirty Moors think they can mule me truly. Who's the real Drew? Me and we. I see more their religion is my mental degree and where everybody's supposed to be. If not, I guess that's not where you're supposed to be. Hopefully, Drew Ali will be seen openly and realize NBC is something you can be. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. It seems unconscious Moors love the semblance of identity and having no remembrance of the Moorish past, no resemblance of the ancestral land inheritance. Love being the children, not the parents. To do any activity asking for clearance. Their minds like crystal, nothing but clearance. Everyone can progress in their land, the heirs can. It's your status. Stop blaming racists who bleed just like you. If you shank their faces, you Moors flew here in pyramid spaceships, and they use that as an emblem on their aprons. And can't be free if not Moorish nations. Black or more Europeans are not Caucasians. Coming to the new world to civilize pagans. With boats and harbors from mosques on hills, we sending in agents. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali.
We transcend and ascend in this. It's a journey, just like the Moors traveling. Worlds upon worlds, the sound within. They gotta touch us as we exhale. Pass all distorted truths and the lies they tell to keep y'all from drinking at the well. Divine love, that's the fountain of youth. Son, peep it. This is the alchemist's secret. Restoring true unity, resurrecting our community. So every day awake to fight. Though it's hard, it's rest guard. In every demonstration, I'm penetrating to the depths of the mind. A noble chief, well kept and refined. Your feeling is right like the star Sirius. This musician is the son of man. I look within, Drew Ali. On the canvas of my soul to replenish the whole, replacing the old is critical, reaching to the pinnacle, native and original MC that's relevant, and the style is intelligent, but I keep it interesting, dropping true math in the cipher if you enter in, the law is the center, so study yourself and be renewed, that's elevation, restoration, through contemplation and meditation, now the soul's navigating, manifesting all creation, the room of this mic, utilizing the light on the path, my body is an astro lab, I take the right actions, and my compass is compassion for internal alchemy.
The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. The deaf won't hear, the blind won't see. They hear the message in the words of Drew Ali. All right. I know the dirty Moors, yeah. I know what Moors did to Drew Ali. I'm saying. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I'm going at dirty rappers lynching Dirty Moors too. Hard literature that Drew wrote to warn you. They came to make you Muslim and make you sovereign. With paperwork and filings, if he out there robbing. They don't care about his words, throw it out like garbage or throw it at you when you're active, not passive. When they want to talk about like off a trampoline mattress, treat them like a vamp or a teen actress. Get stabbed with the brand like a mean savage. This inquisition divine, all of the average. Millennium Renaissance, heroes in our classes. Fed up with the czar control and fascists. Ask if they heard about Moors, they say no. But Masons, they obviously know. Down the handshakes and rituals for skull and bones. They even know about Isles burning Bohemian Grove. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Dirty Moors killed Drew. I read the FBI papers. I'm loyal Moors, emergency fund rapers. Moorish literature and divine battle changers. Might as well say Drew Ali was born in a manger. Prophet put poison inside him, his food smelled danger. Got me treating every Moor like a stranger. Branching pumpkin, stumbling drunk in their threads. What was proclaimed for every meeting was not read. Some Moors are so active, prophet can't be dead. Thanks Moorish teachers away, I can't be led. Actions speak, then I consider what's said. And what's said was study, then study yourself. Honest to the prophet over True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. Everybody wants to be just like True Ali, but nobody wants to care about True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to True Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Yeah. And Operation Rapid.
Peace, Moors.
Inquisition. Still here.
Playing with it.
Operation Rapid Inquisition. All the gods and goddesses.
They playing with it.
And shit, hip hop lives, yo.
Islam to all Moors worldwide. We're out here. We out here. We out here. Peace, brother Hassan.
Hey, yo, I'm sitting here texting you like, yo, you gotta play Zion Gate, yo. You gonna go that hard, yo. You gotta end it off.
No, I didn't have it. I didn't have it pulled up.
Yo, Zion Gate is like, yo, when you kick it off, I'm like, here we go. But go ahead, I yield.
Pulled up. Look.
You there, bro?
Yo, you're good. You hearing me all right?
Yeah, I hear you clear now.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
right. What's good?
Man,
what's popping?
Man. Peace of greetings. Islam. To you, Brother Cujo. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. I guess that's how we should kick it off. I guess just to be a little formal. Man, look, I'm gonna cut to the chase. 5 years, bro, since I've met you. Back in 2016. Thanks to brother Amazite throwing that convention at a Pittsburgh corporation, man.
Peace to brother Amazite.
Yeah, peace to brother Amazite. Yeah. So Amazite Bay, Amazite Ramundus Bay, right? So we had kicked it back in 2016. Then had met. It's just been love like ever since then. I've been listening to you for the past 7 years. And what I just want to say is just like, when people really listen sincerely, man, it's so much you can learn from someone who asks questions. Like, I'm serious, bro. Like that. That's what I'm gonna put right there, and I'm gonna leave it there. I yield Islam, man. How are you, bro?
Yo, everything's peaceful, more. I'm here. You know, everything is good. You know what I mean? Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. You already know how the lessons got Moors. You ain't worried about nothing out here.
Yo, I can't stop laughing.
There's nothing to worry about out here.
I know exactly what you're talking about, so I can't stop laughing. I'm a chill.
Oh, so what we could start with, because there's been a lot going on with Moors. There's been a lot going on with Moors. And looking at everything from the law perspective, who you think is in error? We'll ask you, who you think is in error? The colonists in error, or Rise of the Moors in error? Because there's a lot of people. There's even a couple people in the chat too. You know what I mean? We switched them up. Now we're calling them Cointelpedophiles now, since they want to call Moors domestic terrorists.
Hey, yo.
So we don't call them Cointelpedos now.
I was not ready.
So Cointelpedo is the new department. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, More. Go ahead.
I wasn't ready, even though I just saw the presentation just briefly this morning. I'm like, whoa! And then to have our Albion son just ended the way, like, just kind of, it's nothing that he did wrong. So let's just cut to the chase on that. My position on this entire situation is the fact that I see nothing wrong in what Brother Jamal was saying at all. I think that at this moment in time, we should have came together a lot quicker, a lot sooner, and a lot more calmer. I think what happened, honestly, you know what I would have loved to see? I would have loved to see, like, all the videos I saw and all the propagandizing that I saw. I would have loved to see people post all the contributions that brother has made to the movement. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, I'm going to leave the European here long enough to teach you government. And one thing I recognize when people campaign to make someone, hey, look, this is a really great person. You guys have this guy all wrong, man. They pull all the stops. They have award shows. They pull out the big band, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. They have these, like, I can only imagine kind of like background music videos of like clips and videos of the accomplishments this guy's made. And it's like, I think I would have loved to seen that more. My position though was protocol, because what actually happened was a smear campaign. I don't see people of any other divine and national origin being smeared that way. It was an overall violation to what we know is constitutionally fundamental. And me being the triple water Trinity that I am in a tropic, I'm very sensitive. And I know that when it comes to these types of situations, the best position to take is that which is in harmony with what Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, provided that you actually took the time to read his literature sincerely, without trying to show off that you know the lessons, without trying to propagate as if you're holier than thou. I saw the biggest. I saw chapter 9 come alive, and to answer your question, yeah, we already know the clowns are always in the wrong. You know, because you said colonists, and etymologically,
Yep.
you know, dealing with the clone, right? So when you know, like you and I know, Brother Cujo, that technically, when you're talking Zodiac Constitution and when you read in Clock of Destiny Book 2, sincerely, and right before the introduction, you're reading Manassas and about the lost tribe of Israel, right? And you see the different groups of beings that are enumerated. You kind of like, you go into this mindset, into this sense like, we're all one. Why are we infighting like this? It's like this. It's like, okay, can I just be blunt? You know what I mean? I'm gonna be frank. If someone was drowning, you would throw a life raft. Now, if they reject the life raft, that's on them. However, I think this was the time to really show that we really know the protocol when it comes to chapter 25. Period. And instead of creating an environment online that actually is it's an energy work. I mean, for those of us that really study, we know that's some people will call it magic. You know what I mean? Because when audio hits your ears, emotions come out of their home. And I think it would have been much better for the show classes of the brother reading Prophet Noble Drew Ali's literature in every class as he opens it. I think it would have been much better to show the contributions and concept correction and things he's done, show the videos where he was assisting Moors in similar situations, right? Brother Cujo, correct me if I'm wrong. I won't go into what we said in private, but you can correct me publicly. Because I even shared, like, bro, we reached out. Even my wife reached out. It's like, yo, anything you need, let us know. You know what I mean? Because we know the deal. We really study this for real. We're not going to sit there and, like, Cujo stubbed his toe. I'm going to go live. See, what happened is, see, Moors, if they stub their toe, that means that they're not aligned with the prophet. It's like, okay. Why are somebody have a first aid kit? Do you get what I'm saying? So we can help the brother bandage his foot. Do you know what I mean? So that's why, like, my position when I really saw it, bro, because you, Cujo, you know me, bro. So it's like, once I called you, I was like, hey, man, I see this energy when it come to this, bro. Like, we'll watch the bam. So yesterday when I'm talking to my brothers, I'm speaking with, you know, because a lot of us was like, nah, man, it's got to be another way to assist and help without getting in the splash of propaganda how it is. And then it's like you got certain Albion brothers and I mean, well, sons and daughters, let me say, that are actually telling the truth. And to see how the people can be swayed more by broadcasted hearsay than actual study pertaining to constitutionality. That is a Rocky Horror Picture Show live and direct in your face. Because what you're dealing with now is willful ignorance. So what I'll say is
for the new people, just explain that willful ignorance right there, because there's a lot of more jumping in head first into the showering.
See, you can't say certain words like that, Cujo, because you said jumping in head first, like, because I remember, like, when it was my first year, and you was like, on one of them blog talk radios, you said, "I'm gonna throw you in the deep end. Just kick your feet, you'll be fine." But that's not to say we're gonna throw you in some shit so that you can be like, "Oh shit, can somebody help me?" No, it's not that. It's the deep end is you declare and proclaim your nationality. You need this book, you need that book, you need to study this, you need to study that, you need to know this because this is aligned with that. That'll help you with this, and it's like you patching a quilt. Now, if someone gives you every means to patch the quilt, you have needles, you have thread, you have the patches, you have the instructions on how to patch the quilt, how to, do stitch work, but you willfully touch nothing. You decide everything was brought for me to make a quilt. Now I need to take it and make myself warm for the winter when it comes. But you go, you know what? Maybe I'll find a blanket that's already made. And with that being said, it's like, that's in line with what has been published, the oral statements and prophecies of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Number one, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. When Prophet Noble Drew Ali was telling this to the Moors, he was holding up a copy of the Holy Koran, for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, and a 101 questionnaire for Moorish Americans to show the books that we need to save ourselves with. So when you actually don't listen to people, don't believe people, like even the things that I say, I tell people all the time, you'll challenge it, prove it wrong. Because that's what we learned from Brother Taj. That's what we learned from all the different adepts that come before us. Shoot, what I learned from you and I share with people, Cujo, is question everything. Because for those Moors that come into this information and they want to be court warriors, I'm going to do this in court. And I mean, it's the jump program in the Matrix. Everyone falls the first time. Because what you fail to realize is there's nothing to prove. It's already it's already on the record. So a lot of times, what would be best for new Moors to come in, it would be best for them to just analyze. All right, let me read this. They say read this, let me read this. And what you find out is when you actually read and not just the cat went to the dog. No, the cat went to the dog's house. Okay, hold on. What's dog? Let me look up dog. Etymology of dog. And then you go, what's a house? Etymology of house. Oh, snap. Greek, oikos. I didn't know, that was something or some other like that. So, anyhow, to say the least, for new Moors coming in, study what it is. For me, what I did was I was watching C. Freeman L videos at first, and somebody was just sharing information with me, just sharing clips of information, and I'm just absorbing them in short forms, not knowing that they're setting me up to go to RV Bay Publications, really. Within like those 7 days and 3 months I'm on RV Bay, and listening to Blog Talk at the same time because they told me about it. So I was able to make a connection real quick, like, oh, snap. these people on this blog talk is the people that's in these pictures and on this website and the literature. Oh, okay. And then it was like, 3 months after that, once I saw Brother Taj video, I made the connection that the literature that says Taj Tariq Bey on it from RB Bey, it's like I started making the connection, right? So with that, what I realized, a certain rhythm in the literature, and the rhythm that was in the literature is, this is who you are, this is what's happening on your ancestral estate, this is how you have to outthink criminals. Now, did I get that wrong? Did I boil that down too far, or is that accurate?
No, you straight.
All right, so could I give an example, I guess? Did I answer your question first?
Oh yeah, it wasn't for because the newbies usually see this stuff later. So I just wanted them to have perspective from somebody with regard to that.
Yeah, I think the more you
Yeah.
I think the more the youth come in, because I know usually it's a mindset like I remember one brother approached me out in the street like, me and Sekmat and baby, we're getting gas, we're at the gas station. Right. And one brother was like, he saw the feds, he saw the land conveyance writ, and he's like, so-called plates, and he's like, hey man, I see your plates, and I see that, I see your, he says hat, and I said, my feds. He's like, yeah, yo, you a Moor? I said Islam. He said, oh man, yo, that's real, yo. He said, look, no disrespect, but y'all can bang on the law like that, yo. I saw that on the news, yo. If that's how it is, yo, I need to sign up now. And that's when I thought in my head, I said, is this the conversation in the trap? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where my head went for a second. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, like, right? So when I spoke with the brother, I was like, well, first and foremost, that's a kind of a good response, because it wasn't like he looked at it like, oh man, that's wild. I was like, yeah, you notice like nobody got harmed or injured, and really that brother's being violated. He wasn't wrong. They're just trying to, he was like, make an example. Right. I already know it, Joe. I feel that. And I was just like, wow. So for me, you want to talk about what's going on the unconscious, the coming into the truth about your nationality and birthrights, there's a different motivation. Do you get, like, okay, my motivation was to keep my family together. 7 years ago, there wasn't anything outside of Moors being violated for mansion, possession, so to speak. That's the biggest thing I ever heard when I came in. Oh, these Moors, they was trying to use the hypnosis and psychological operation pertaining to Moors being squatters. That was the psyop then. You see what I'm saying?
Then that was what, 5 years ago?
7 years ago with the Abkare Bay thing and all of that.
So 7 years ago, the psyop was Moors are out there claiming houses, and then that was the pinnacle of the op. There wasn't anything else out there that was trying to sway more or sway people away from Moors, other than these individuals doing this claiming house thing and then getting kidnapped on TV and police chases or whatever like that, right? But there was nothing else. That was it. 7 years ago.
That was kind of like the main,
the world.
I yield.
Yeah. So from that time to now, as far as for Moors coming into this, from 7 years ago to now, on top of the house claiming situation, what other things you see have been added on to keep the people in the state of not figure this stuff out?
Um, uh, okay. Can I mention the video clip that was sent to me this morning about the mail?
Oh yeah, whatever, yo, you going on whatever. Yeah.
All right, all
Yeah.
right. Everyone knows that I documented my studies pertaining to the Universal Postal Union, the General Postal Union Treaty, even to the point I have a Google Drive that I give to people that are sincerely interested. I did a whole astrological breakdown report and compiled all of the different um, uh, 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 assemblies every time they met for the General Postal Union Treaty, which was October 9th, 1874, just the day before a solar eclipse. Right. So in looking at that and looking at what people may term postal banking, and people may say, oh, that stuff you're talking about is that sovereign citizen stuff. Like the sovereign citizen thing, though, Cujo, is the foundation to every psyop. It's like a pyramid is on a sockle, you know, and the sockle is that base that you start building the pyramid on. So the sockle to slandering us, like it's not. I don't see yarmulke people on yarmulkes in the news, and people are saying these are domestic terrorists. I don't see people in any other form of, you know, national and divine and national headdress being pegged that way. It's like, however, this sockle that's, you know, Southern Poverty Law Center, you know, we got to make sure we keep the sovereign citizen tag. When you have documentation that we are sovereign theocratic governors, there's a difference. All righty. And what I mean by that is because this is a sovereign theocratic government, according to House Resolution 0689, which is what, you know, Rahm Emanuel used in 2011 to make the proclamation near Mecca. Right. So with that being said, there's a public announcement, because every General Assembly is a public announcement. Every time it's documented, recorded, it's public. It's a public announcement, right? All right, now let's correlate that with mail. I know. Let me just say this now. Let me just disclose this now. Let me just disclaim it now. I do not ignore my ability to fold space and time when it comes to concepts and conceptualizing. So there are things that I'm about to say out of my mouth that are common sense, simple, not hard to comprehend. Alrighty, to just give an example pertaining to the spirit one should actually have, not me saying you should have it, me saying when it comes to conceptualizing what would be a viable, I'm going to say the word hypnosis, so that you're not fearful when studying these concepts. Because some Moors may feel like, oh man, I'm studying this, but I feel like I'm the only one around. Where the other Moors at? That's a test. That's the universe saying, okay, you sincere? Okay, well, what if you were by yourself butt naked? What if you were the only one back in the early 1900s and nobody else stood up and said we're Moors? What if you were that? you know, so let's draw this together with that video of Moors in the post office, whatever. First of all, when you really study the mail situation, you can get all shipping supplies. There are free shipping supply options. All you have to do is go to the USPS website. You don't have to prove in the post office that you're a Moor in special appearance. You can make that proof, or you by just being yourself within the mail operation. There's a difference between speculating what you're doing and operating what you're doing. You can get free shipping supplies. You can schedule a postman or woman to pick up your mail. How about this? If your mail slot is on your door, do you realize that you domicile internationally? If your mail slot is on your door, like you don't have a mailbox, just concepts. Do you realize that you domicile in a mailbox? So that's international protection. You're the word. You're the logos. I'm not speaking over your head. I'm taking anthropomorphic principles and concepts and showing you how you can basically turn water to wine in your own mind. It's not hard. What does that have to do with the mail, Hassan? What does that have to do with Moors being called domestic terrorists, paper terrorists? They're in post offices. They're scaring Albions that wear masks at their chin. Why? Why is this happening? It's happening because there's still a spot of willful ignorance, just a little, that's based in pride due to post-traumatic stress disorder of feeling like not being recognized, not being heard, not being accepted, coming from wardship tenure, coming from you have to work and pay bills, coming from you have to do this in order to keep this, coming from I got mine, you got yours, coming from all these different levels of negative hypnosis or hypnosis that doesn't yield any form of abundance except an abundance of despair. So when you sincerely study and pay attention to, like, if I was to, Cujo, sometimes I send you my stuff so you can just criticize it, because we already knew in the first year coming in, when you really sincere and you write in anything, and we learn from Brother Taj, all PhDs have their presentations criticized by other PhDs.
And then what type of response do you get when you said it? Most times.
Most of the time, they're not unfavorable. They're like, oh well,
exactly.
Yeah, if you can stand on that, and no more to get, think that they're getting caught up off of what you showing them and stuff. And it's like, yeah, you already know, bro. Like, I always have indemnification. The indemnification is I can't make you shit by whatever I eat. And we need to actually recognize that. We need to recognize that everything we consume, even everyone who may be consuming this now, no matter what words come out of our mouth, we are making the decision of what to consume. We really can't go, well, I learned this from so and so and so and so, so they should be responsible for X, Y, and Z. Now, the only reason that's really tough is because the Quran opens up, man, know thyself. So there are certain things that we're Go ahead. What'd you say, bro?
No. Before anything else, other than the cover. No, the first thing other than the cover is for us to know thyself. Like you're saying. Like the first thing before any of the literature and the science and the and all the stuff that that people think this is about. The first thing is know thyself. Before anything else, know thyself. But carry on, more. I yield the floor.
No, you're exactly correct. And see, okay, so it's like I could carry, man, we all need to come together, man. We need to unify. And what I realized after 7 years of stuff, I'm only a 7-year-old, all right? I've been in the movement 40 years and I almost walk with the prophet. I'm not that guy. What by meeting Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, however, all right. By meeting Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, however, what I actually realized is he is so simplistic in his presentations that I recognize that I wasn't used to thinking simplistically. So I had to recognize that I was thinking at a fault. I had to readjust my thinking so that I could actually slow down, because even for me, now no one has to adopt this. For me in my studies, man is mine, so that's mine. No, when you get into no and you get into Sierra, the Latin Sierra, S-C-I-R-E, when you get into, gnosis and Sierra, knowledge, dealing with science, all of that. So that's how I look at things. I look at things etymologically. So it's mine, right? Have, know. So that means, be, know, declare, kind of have the ins and outs of it all, right? Thyself is saying yourself. Okay, so mind, know yourself. All right, and thy, okay, and your father. Now, for me, when I see the word father, it says Father God Allah. So when I see father, I'm like, all right, let me look up father. Okay, it leads back to pater in the Latin. Okay, pater, okay, it leads back to mater. Okay, dang, so it's still mother. So all right, so father then is a process then that mother uses. That's my thinking. Y'all don't have to adopt that. That's not the gospel. There's no Brother Hassan said that really father is the process. If you comprehend that within you, then that's cool. You know that story that the elders tell about Prophet Noble Drew Ali Kujo, when they be like, Prophet Noble Drew Ali had asked the woman, who made you? And she goes, Allah. And then Prophet Noble Drew Ali waits for a few minutes and taps her on the shoulder again and says, who made you? And she go, Allah. He waits a few minutes, taps on the shoulder again and goes, excuse me, younger sister, who made you? And she goes, she's a little irritated now. This is how the story goes, right? I know, right? I'm sharing hearsay in good faith so that we can discern the principle in it. So
right.
I said Allah, and his reply is, I just wanted to see what you said. I know because I wrote it. Or it's like, oh, I know I wrote it. I just wanted to see what you said. So in other words, it's like, it's one thing, how you have certain Moors out there sort of kind of beating you about parroting, when, in some practices, parroting is necessary. Like sometimes your child has to parrot how to tie their shoe before they actually gain their own comprehension without you having to supervise their shoe tying. All right. So it's the same thing back to the male. Because I know people are going to be like, man, this brother's jumping all over the place. I'm really not. I know how to make correlations and stay on track, even if it seems like I'm doing pockets.
You where you're at. You're straight.
All right. So tie that back into the male situation. Like, if you really think about the male, like that's your right to travel and your free speech. That's Bill of Right 1 and Bill of Right 4, which really conquers everything at all times if you really pay attention. Because the Bill of Rights is what's owed to the people, and the 7 articles. And again, this is according to my studies. The 7 articles in the Constitution are governing groups of people that decide to go on certain ventures together. However, you go on those ventures, this is what you owe the people here. So don't forget these 10 Bill of Rights when you doing your little 7 article exercises. Because at the end of the day, the people are the reason you even exist. So since you exist from a group of people, these are the 7 articles that governs that group. And you never supersede the people. And this is what you owe the people in your venture as you're operating on the land or conducting yourselves, however. So when it comes to mail, what's presented in the tutorial that I presented, Tax A Per Q, I presented what was grabbed from my studies based on me being national. I know based on my studies pertaining to when I got my name, declaration, correction, proclamation, and publication, and I read the 7 points that are in that, and then I actually not only read what the 7 points were, I actually looked those things that were enumerated on the name correction, and I had a clear foundation, which I had to keep repetitiously reading, because studying is like you going to a personal trainer. You have to exercise reading it, because every day there's a fresh perspective that you get. You're building concept, you're building muscle, however, conceptually, metaphysically, right? So that you can be able to change your outer here, right? So with the Tax A Per Q demonstration, if you change your mind, instead of thinking you have to go inside and prove to people, because that borders flashing your nationality card. However, I don't want people to
and again too, one more thing that we, as far as the process,
mm-hmm.
we've received and sent mail via Tax Per Q. That the stuff got there no problem. Matter of fact, it got there faster than the regular mail.
Yes.
It got there faster than when you pay 60, 80 to send it. And, just trying it out or whatever, we just send it on different stuff. And this is from here to anywhere near U.S. That stuff was sent and it was received using that. They send something back just to see, like, what, this works? Let me just see this thing right here. Put it out, and then it gets sent. And it's not an issue, like, because, when they talk about the whole thing about go to the store and exemption and whatever, that part is sort of what it is, that everything's paid for. All you have to know is that everything's paid for. So if everything's paid for, then you should be able to go in and get what you're supposed to get. But because of what they set in place to block the people from certain concepts, just like you're saying, it would appear like it's deep end. And you're, paddling water. Oh my God. And then all you have to do is just stand up. The stuff's at your ankles. Like, what are you doing? Right? Stuff's at your ankles. Stop playing around. Because more sent some stuff. More sent big stuff. More sent little stuff. More sent finance. More sent all types of stuff. And stuff got here. Yo, what is? 3 days. Depending on where it is, maybe a week. 5 days tops. Mail is there, no stamp. Some stuff that more just, because there is knowledge of postal realm, which is its own realm. Like, that's its own realm. That's a whole world. Just like they say Admiralty, and then they talking about, UCCs and whatever like that. Okay, that's a world. Okay, the postal whatever is a world. Like the postman was the man. When you think about, you know, everybody's waiting for that guy on the horse. Everybody's waiting on the guy with the horse because only certain people were using falcons and stuff like that to send messages. So the postman became big time with regard to these colonists in land that's not their own. Because it's a thing that you don't even think about. Like when you think about, you know what I mean? When we think about in history and they talk about, oh, they had gold and they had, the spices and the boats and they had the government and they had how were they communicating with each other? Did they have a postal department?
Hey, yo, hold up.
People got mailboxes. There's a guy going around back then.
Yo, hold up, yo. The funny thing is, because what you're speaking on, right? And I'm just sitting here like, you know me, yo, when you talk, bro, it's so many concepts in my head going. And it's because what you just said without saying it, so I'm going to say it because you are saying it, but you're saying it so that people can comprehend where it's happening, is that the Secretary General Bashar Abdurrahman Hussein, who's doing another 4 years being the Secretary General for the Universal Postal Union, is the overlord of all contracts on the planet. So, with that being said, any and everything that you do is mailed. So now, Cujo, I'm going to say this confidently. I know that we're not diplomats. However, being foreign to the U.S.A. corporation and practices and all of that is attached to it, we would appear to them to be diplomats. Did I say that clearly?
Yeah, from how they're looking at it.
Right.
If they're seeing our presentation, they're gonna look at it like we're some type of diplomat from some other nation that's not theirs.
Right. And so that now shows you how to identify that when you're exercising taxe per Q, you're sending from North America, which is international, which is different from U.S.A. That's why at the bottom of when I send mail, usually in people's labels, the bottom says North America. And I'm bracketing the zip, and I have to check to see, because you don't have to volunteer your information with the IRS. You really don't have to. That's what you have the first and fourth Bill of Rights for. However, I think I'm not sure. Don't quote me if it's Form 8822. I don't think it's 8822. I had to double check. But the way that you opt out of the IRS game is bracketing the zip code, the zone improvement plan code. And when you bracket it out with a -9998, see, what you need to do is you need to go to the post office and spend one note 20 cents, right, in lieu of lawful money on 3 sheets of 2-cent stamps. Ask for the receipt. And when you leave out, look at the top of your receipt. I guarantee you the zip is going to say -9998. So they're going to let you know they're international. They're non-domestic without the U.S. also, even though they call themselves United States Postal Service or United States Post Office. They are under contract with the Universal Postal Union, which is neutral at Bern, Switzerland. So they really can't take a side. They really can't tell you how to act or do. So if certified mail slips, PS 3811 and PS 3800, are part of free shipping supplies, along with the EPL4 legal size envelope, those are free, and you can get some Avery labels or print out some labels yourself on paper and use tape. You know what I'm saying? Do your tax-a per-Q labels. And if you want to put some extra on it, you want to throw some cheese on it, you can actually put a 2-cent stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? You can put a 2-cent stamp on it to give some extra, because tax-a per-Q says it's already paid. So to put 2-cent stamp on it is like you balling. You just in the mail world. You really did. You're just throwing. Oh, you just can throw 2-cent stamps anywhere, huh? Yeah, because it's lawful money. It's backed by. Okay, what does Brother Hassan mean is backed by lawful money? Do you know why you can't find any original document that you may want because you're trying to end a contract? Because you're the original document.
Just like you're the I was thinking about this one. You're the original Sphinx. Why they hit the nose off and they don't care about it. You're the original Moors. Why they're pulling down all the stuff in Germany and saying it was racist and black stuff or whatever. You're the one. You're the living manifestation of the ancestral everything, whatever it is. Whatever it is, what you make copper jewelry, you're the copper jewelry people returned. You astrology, you're the guy who's sitting down in the little corner with the hood and the little, you know what I mean, crystals on the little blanket and all that stuff. People coming up, throw their little thing in the pot, open their palms. You're them here now.
Islam.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know, there's even people who don't know. If people really don't know, go look at the Moorish Science Temple of America convention picture, and you'll see Taj in the convention picture.
Islam.
If you never really looked at all the faces in the convention picture, go back and check. And you tell me if that's not Taj. If you're gonna say that's not Taj, then you have mental problems. And there's probably other people from today, Moors today, that you would see. I know I seen Hakeem Bey in one of those pictures, for sure. No, I seen Hakeem Bey in one of those pictures.
Islam.
I know he's a return.
He definitely
Everybody
is.
saw the painting that looks like 50 Cent, and it was a Moor.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like him. Splitting image, some ancient picture. But now he's here today, he's nigger now today.
Can't be. It's impossible. Charged affair.
Right.
You have to prove he's not Moorish. And the only way that someone can prove you're not Moorish is when you say you're not Moorish.
Exactly.
It's the only way they can prove it, right? So when it comes to doing anything, when you're demonstrating mail, when you're traveling like that, okay, how does the mail the right to travel, right? I know we're not diplomats, however, you can, and I know there's some Moors that disagree with this brother. However, I speak with this brother in private, and he has some really awesome concepts to share. However, I look for the beauty in things. You know, Brother Cujo, you know that's how I am. I know it could be like a shit show going on, and I could be like, hey, look at how when they threw that piece of shit on the wall, it made a Venus de Milo shape. That's awesome. You know, but there's snakes in here, you know, but I'm looking for the beauty. So the beauty in the situation, shout out to brother Walter Davis Bay near the Houston Corporation. All righty. And he was like, yeah, man, one demonstration in traveling for real, you know, because I had shared the whole word concept. You know, my mail slot is on my door here at the domicile. So I'm like, man, I'm in a mailbox. Well, that makes sense because I'm the logos. I'm not saying I'm the logos, I have arrived. No. Everybody is that. It's just that I have to declare it and recognize it
Right.
within myself, because it's man, know thyself, right? And it's not man, know thyself, then let me show off about it. That's not really actually what's happening. What's happening is, hey man, look, a Dear Diary. It's just I'm doing it on the internet because I understand time capsuling. You know what I'm saying? So I know 25 years from now, this can be reviewed. You know what I mean? And or shared or whatever the case may be. So when traveling the land conveyance, Brother Walter was like, hey man, diplomatic post office, you could put, right where the, VIN situation is or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's a practice for people not seeking to see, when you have the spirit of I'm trying to get over and I hope, and you still got that wide eye and you shaking and armpit sweating, you do not comprehend the concept, because you have to have the mindset of a UFC fighter with this. And what I mean by that is you if someone was to swing at you, you would know to move or block. You don't practice moving and blocking in the form of calling 911 when policy enforcers are behind you. Why? Because you just weren't trained to do that. However, if you have a generation of people that know that that's an emergency response vehicle, and there's an emergency that they're signaling that they're responding to, your land conveyance isn't on fire and you didn't call them, then your mindset needs to be so calm in being an upright American citizen, per the letter to be read in every meeting, right? Your only sole foundation, right? This is the means for your only sole foundation, right? All right, to be an American citizen, right? So you be an upstanding American citizen, dial 911 and help them with their emergency. I know that sounds wild, and they are still programmed on the hypnosis of asking you for license and registration and all these other things, right? However, at the end of the day, you're helping them with their emergency where there is none. You're calling 911, you're getting connected to the local 911, letting them know your location, having a supervisor there. Stop asking these people to call their supervisor. That's like some kid throwing child throwing sand in another child's face, and then that child goes, I got the sand thrown in their face. Go tell your mom and dad you're doing this to me. Like, yeah, right. I'm not getting grounded. We have to practice knowing protocol, practice knowing how to, you got to know how to hit them in their pocket too. When these people violate and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people have captive insurance. So that means they have a staff attorney that's making sure that the captive insurance doesn't get touched so they can cash out on it. However, you make claims or whatever, you can prove those claims, and the damages that they have to pay out is from their little fund of captive insurance. Because just like when you're traveling on the road and someone rear ends you and their insurance policy is to cover your damages, it's the same thing in life. It's just the rear ending isn't physical, right. It's actually spiritual. And they're making you think that now you have rear-ended them by not operating a land conveyance that they're saying is in public trust per the state of corporation due to the registration and things like that. Why? Because the manufacturer's manufacturer's certificate of origin, due to the land conveyance not being paid out outright, so to speak, or whatever, completely transacted for with no balance. Since that's the case and it's being financed, the MCO now is at the DMV, or the so-called Department of Motor Vehicles. And now they're holding it as collateral for you to just, okay, well, here, now it's paid off and you should be able to get the MCO back or whatever, bring it into your own trust and no longer have your right to travel encumbered. Some people are able to avoid that by having their land conveyance in trust. Here in the state of Maryland, they have something called a inter vivus trust. If you choose to contract with the state, either way, you still don't have to. What you can do is find a private seller, do a clean bill of sale, provided you know what that is. And I'm just telling you what me and my wife have executed. And find that private seller and then put it in trust. And then you can have what you need necessary on your land conveyance. Technically, anybody traveling is the word. Getting stopped is mail obstruction. 18 USC 1341 and 1342 deal with frauds and swindles and fictitious names. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, someone tries to use a fraud or swindle and a fictitious name to say that you need to operate this way or contract that way. That 18 USC technically is, in my concept, according to my studies. Because Cujo will ask you, you ever did that in court? You asked me straight up. And it's like, at the end of the day, I look at the planet as court. And you know that I know that the land conveyance, writ is notice. You know what I'm saying? There's notice on my shirt. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that recognize that this is notice. You know what I'm saying? However, I'm not saying jump out there and do what I'm discussing. What I'm saying is after 7 years pertaining to study, you see what I'm saying? And then not attracting to myself confrontation. My mindset, like I said, I remember the first time, Cujo, I got into something my first year, and and I spoke to you, and I spoke to Mother Anita and Mother Roz, and Anita was like, "What is it about your energy that you attracted that situation to yourself?" And I was like, "You know what? I ain't never look at it like that." Touche. What is it about my energy? And then I realized, yeah, I was on some, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I'm saying it's like, all right, I have nothing to prove. All righty. Let me be mindful. Okay. You know what? I can just be myself. You know what I mean? No, I'm not having my land conveyance written. I'm doing 90 in the 60. We have a freaking baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm really speed limit. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? When you really observe this, what they call a speed limit, you actually realize like this is actually pretty fast enough, actually. Like, because at the end of the day, you can respond quickly. You're not really, man, it's just so different, Brother Cujo, when people take the time to really study sincerely. The mindset that you develop, you can't give to somebody. You can't give it to somebody. You can't share it to somebody. Hey man, look, take this piece of mind right here. And you can't do that. What you can do is share the concept and demonstrate, because when people see, it, because that's another thing. The land conveyance writ, right? Along with the what else? The baptismal record. Let's just go over that. Different things that developed. Yes, the text percu classes, the astrology classes. I'm also responsible for developing the land conveyance writ the way that I did it, based off of what demonstrations and studies from Brother Taj and everyone else that was providing information. So it's nothing new under a sun. I just wanted to make sure it's complete and know how to actually share it, along with the conceptual lines in defense when people want to force you to contract with their state corporations and stuff like that. However, you're not looking for a fight, and you're carrying an energy that is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, because that's what we are, right? So with that being said, the land conveyance writ comes with instructions also. The matrimonial covenant. Shout out to Brother Cujo, because the first matrimonial covenant that was completed after I did it, and it was sealed and all of that, even though I had to do what I needed to do ritualistically to disconnect that. But shout out to Brother Cujo, because he actually officiated, so to speak, that first matrimonial covenant ceremony that I had participated in. And it's, to my understanding, Brother Cujo, still being utilized to this day. By different Moors. And are you still utilizing it? You can keep it a buck with me, man, in the public. I mean, I don't know if you're still utilizing the matrimonial covenant.
Yeah, people who want it. Yeah, that's I mean, if they are committed to each other like that, and they want to do it the de jure way, then yeah, it's not about going to those people. Just like the mail, what I mean? If I don't need to go to them to pay $500 to send some stuff, then why? If I don't need to go to them to get a plate, if I don't need to go to them to get whatever it takes to save a nation, then what? And I can do it myself. Then what? What I mean? Why not? The only problem is that it has to be done as a body. What I mean? You can do. You're only gonna get so far doing it individually. There's a line they're not letting you cross if you're only 5 people. What I mean? They're just not gonna go there. Not because they don't recognize what it is, or because what I'm saying, they some of agenda against Moors from doing whatever it is that they see they need to do. But yeah,
I'll say even there's been times like me and Sekhmet were at the Whole Foods in Albion Sun. This is a true story. This was 2 weeks ago, babe? Like about that. And we're coming out the Whole Foods, and Segment's like, yo, somebody behind the wheel taking pictures. I'm like, now, here near the Maryland State Republic, it's so many land conveyance writs, man. And, you know, a lot of people are practicing trust practices anyway. So a lot of people have the dealer's advertisement in the back of their land conveyance when they're, you know, getting them paid in full, quote unquote. So by them doing that, they're putting it in trust, not registering it with the state of corporation, and they're able to still move around like that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a little comprehended here. Because even with the inter vivis trust through the Motor Vehicles Administration here near the Maryland State Republic, the inter vivis trust, and you guys can look that up. If you transfer the property a certain way, you don't even have to register it with the state, and it doesn't have to go through inspection. So it's actually, it's like the movie Divergent. We know what we can do. However, since there's occupation on the land, you have to have in lieu of forms prepared so that you can be able to satisfy what it is that they're kind of so-called looking for, provided if that's what you're looking to attract in your journey in being yourself. If I was you, I would take a page out of Brother Cujo's book and just Purple Flame Ritual, you know, I'll just keep that there, you know, you know what I'm saying? That just keeps you out of sight. You know what I mean?
Just in case.
What'd you say?
Nah, just in case.
Yeah. And so let me get back to making a point so it doesn't seem like I'm going off. Let's bring the energy back to something that people can go and grab and study, right? So yeah, the nationality card.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, indeed. So doing the nationality cards, Cujo. I've done that. I've given out temple cards and things like that. Because my mindset doesn't think, how some people be like, who gave you the authority to well, Prophet Noble Drew Ali says our authority is right here. So I comprehend what it is. I comprehend because I actually read Prophet Noble Drew Ali's literature. So when it comes to people being sincere, I'm only a secretary completing a brief that they are to comprehend, because the documentations that we actually issue, are based on the original, which is the sentient being, which is you, which is me, like whoever we are. So even when people are like, oh yeah, because the birth certificate, and I need the original. You are the original. That's what the so-called birth certificate instrument is based on. You are the original issue document. You are the original issue to receive the discount because everything's prepaid. These concepts aren't hard. I'm not saying I'm gonna be like, ooh, for y'all to be like, ooh, that brother deep. No, because that even clouds your comprehension, because you're too enamored by how the words came out of my mouth. When I disclaimed before I started speaking like this, I said, I'm going to say some things that fold space and time. Saying that when you're traveling in your land conveyance and you're the word, and that's mail delivery 24/7, which takes off the time constrictions of when you can operate a so-called automobile that's within trust, because the mail is 24/7, then that doesn't mean go out here, be licentious, and use that to be rude and be a lawbreaker. That's not what that's being shared for. And it's not being shared publicly for you Albion sons and daughters to do, like when me and Segment was at that Whole Foods and people taking, the son taking pictures, and I'm holding a Deer Park water, and instead of hitting my phone and going live on this Albion son, Peter, he said his name was, I forgot what he said his last name was or whatever. And I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, what is this on the back of your truck? I've never seen that before. Is that some type of religion? Now, my mind, I'm at a point in my mind where I'm not ready to teach you on the street. I don't give a fuck about you on the street, really, like that, when I see you're violating me like that. So the first thing my mind technically goes to is, let me be calm. This is my son and he's misbehaving. So I said, come here, son. What are you doing? Oh, well, I'd seen this. I've never seen that plate. I mean, what is that, a religion? I said, who's your worshipful master? No, my beloved son, Hiram, who's your worshipful master? What lodge do you hail from? What lodge do you attend? Oh, I don't attend the lodge. I'm just curious. I'm like, there are hundreds of other land conveyance writs, which you call license plates out here. Many different colors, many different vanities on them, and or not vanities on them. But you're documenting something on your phone that I have no idea what you're documenting, nor do I know your intent. Is there anybody out here who has on a yarmulke and you're behind their land conveyance taking pictures? Oh, no. I said, okay. And so I said, okay, now my next question is, where's your green card? What do you mean green card? Are you familiar with what Americans are? Yes, I am. Well, you're clear you're not. That's the various copper tone people founded by early European settlers. So, my beloved Albion's son, why are you misbehaving? That's a violation. You're violating my religion. You could have somebody recording on your phone right now just to see how I'm going to react to you. And I'm going to let you know right now, I know that you're my son. Are you going to keep misbehaving like this? Should I now follow you to your land conveyance? Sekhmet cold-blooded. Sekhmet wanted blood. She was ready to bite him. I'm kind of joking, but we got the baby with us. This is Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. So when she peeped it, she like, yo, taking pictures of the land conveyance. So I was like, she was like, what are you doing? I said, it's about to go down. Right? Like, however, the only thing I could rely on, because I know what's going on, all this national attention, the last thing I'm going to give this dude is the ABCs of how Moors fall. Every Moors falls with these ABCs. And those ABCs are aggression, belligerence, and confrontationalism. So usually we have...
Put that out again.
Okay, aggression, belligerence, and confrontationalism. See, I look at this as a quote-unquote gentleman's sport in the mind. And I've realized by me not chasing the bag for 7 years, well, now I'm in my 7th year and we, have a family. So, we've turned up on our merchant and business practices to bring about resources quicker. However, I realized that you lose when you lose your temper. When they say first man leaves the battlefield loses, well, that loss happens when you lose your temper. And I realized that the more I study, the more I have within my arsenal to kick your ass here. Like, brother, see, that's the one thing when Brother Taj did that in the video. He was like, you can't beat me here. And I said, whoa, I don't know what happened. But when he said that, it hit me a certain way where I was like, I like that. Had somebody because it reminded me of my brother Stretch on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? Brother Stretch on the basketball court was like, yo, Shaky, yo, you be the shit on the court, bro. But every time somebody say something to you, yo, you get angry. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers get in your head, yo, and then you start fucking up. And I was like, So being the kind of thinker that I am, I'm drawing a correlation from my brother on the basketball court telling me that when I was much younger to what Brother Taj is saying in this video. You can't beat me here. And that's when it was like, oh, it was like the angel started singing. And I realized that that's where we keep getting beat. We keep beating ourselves here. We're not allowing ourselves to unify because we're not taking our time to sincerely all grasp the same concepts and be our own individual Jesus Christ. And then when we all come together, then we'll be the body of Christ. not in the sense of dogmatic practice. I mean in the sense where everyone has taken, according to Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, metaphysics, the science of being. Now you've taken that science, you studied yourself, man, know thyself, which really, when you really study, and you can take the Kybalion along with all these other metaphysical things. And for me, the top-notch book is the Holy Koran. It's like, for me, it's a master's book. To some people, I say it's a Master Mason's book, because you can really build your character.
Yeah.
Is there any questions that I haven't been checking the chat, bro? We've been going for 1:20, so should I?
Oh no, there ain't nobody. Yeah, no, there ain't nobody in there. We got 20. We got a strong 20 left.
All right. So when
ain't nothing in there.
Go ahead. Oh, all right. So
no, go ahead, more.
You say trolls? Oh, this is segment cold blood.
Trolls are crazy. Yeah. Mother's in there, yo. She's like, wow, this is. Yeah, you're not missing anything in the chat, bro.
Oh,
no,
right.
but there's no questions. Only trolls.
All right.
Only trolls, yo. No questions in the chat.
All right. So, because I know a lot of times my position on the internet just looks like I'm advertising, come spend your finance here. When really, at the end of the day, what it really is I'm being industrious the way that I know how. When I was in high school and the different skill sets that I learned, everything was kind of really science and just being nerdy. So I wasn't outside as much. I did a lot of reading also. And then, but after coming out of HVAC school, graduating like the top 5 percentile of HVAC school, I came in, to more science, like directly, like right afterwards, and was able to just put a lot of things together. And by being an HVAC student, we learned that you have to know how to identify a component, know its function, and know its purpose. If you didn't know those 3 things, then you're going to suck as a technician in the field, whether it's residential or commercial. So with that being said, I made sure I comprehended air conditioning, refrigerating, heating, air conditioning, and ventilation in a way where I can, off the top of my head, draw an electrical schematic of how basic AC works from, between on both sides of the step down transformer or step up transformer, whichever one we're speaking on. I can actually draw a mechanical schematic. So I took that type of discipline and was able to, keep it as my sockle to keep building these different pyramids on. And then when it came to, declaring and proclaiming my nationality, after speaking with my father's mother, who gifted me this fez. This was the first fez I ever got. And this my dad, so shout out to my pops kicker. His mom, she, when I told her what it is I wanted to do, and I did some research on our family, and she saw how serious I was. And she was like, "You remind me of my brother Ronald." I said, I didn't know you had a brother named Ronald, Grandma. And she was like, "You want a fez?" And I said, yeah, because I'm serious. And what I realized, even though my grandmother's Jehovah's Witness, she knew what I was talking about. Because one thing she said,
she was in front, yeah.
You know what I mean? She look, I was talking to her, right? I was like, yeah, Grandma, because I want to be the family historian and lawyer and blah, 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 and I think we can do this. And she was like, all right, grandson, you stop before I decide to fall back to sleep on you. I said, oh, okay. I saw what you did there. I saw what you... So she know the deal. So when she gave me my fez, I was like, But then eventually, I got different fezzes, longer fezzes. I do everything in my fez. That's why it looks so multicolored. People are like, yo, why does his tassel look like it's armored? Man, I'm telling you, when you're out in these elements and you do what you do and you're really about this life, after a while, you just be like, look, man, if I need to have a fashion ready, tucked away in a closet fez, I'll just hit Lauderers or anybody else that has a fez design that I like, you know what I mean, and do that or whatever. But really, at the end of the day, man, what I really realized, you cannot wear a fez or have on your different, signals. I mean, notices. Let me say, you cannot have on different notices and things like that. Just being sincere here and knowing what it is. So yeah, a lot of times for me, it's like I know I'm the word. And since I'm the word, who has jurisdiction over me when I have the right words to speak. So every time I move, think, speak, I'm traveling. It's not to sound far out and super adept. I really comprehend a lot of things in jurisprudence, cosmology, civics. Prophet Noble Drew Ali's Moorish leaders.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just had a thought. I just had a thought about freaking somebody asking a comet or something for a license because it's traveling.
You what they ask about a license?
Now, who would be asking a spaceship, a comet, for a license? Who's pulling them over?
Right, and you know what?
The Galactic Police.
See, that's somebody that's thinking. See, whoever said that, they're thinking, because that's the same as what crawling permit did you need to crawl across your grandmom's floor? It's like, oh, they're ready to crawl. We got to go to the DMV and get a crawler's permit. Because and even though they said a spaceship, yeah, even though they said a spaceship, right? And because what we're saying, Cujo, this is really good. What we're saying is the land conveyance is an extension of your feet. The land conveyance is an extension of your feet. The land conveyance is an extension of your feet. If you lost a foot or the use thereof and had to use crutches to get around, do you get crutch license now?
Right.
Because now you have you have it. That's why I said, bro, like, I do my best to not sound like far out, and I'm trying to spit some bars. Like, I try my best to be like, all right, I trust that when I say this, y'all see that you really need to go and study what I'm saying, because when you go and look at different case laws, stare decisis is really how it's pronounced in the Latin. I know we say stare decisis, but it's stare decisis. So when you go and check these different stare decisis case laws, what you should recognize is the spirit at the foundation and the principles that are being expressed. You don't really, maybe it's because I'm a Cancer in the tropic, ascending in the sun. So I pay attention to the root of, I pay attention to a tree's root more than its branches, leaves, and fruit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know the leaves and the fruit is based on that tree's rootedness. All right. So with somebody saying, yo, the Galactic Police gonna pull your spaceship over, exactly. And the reason why they're thinking they're practicing law, the sea law, as it's called, or maritime law, right? Maritime law, right? Time never was when man was not. So if it was maritime, which means the time it was liquid, that looks pretty solid, that asphalt and concrete now. Did you see what I did there? Because we were merchants. If you read in your Cycle 7 Holy Quran, we dredged rivers to do business, to be merchants, to be able to trade. So instead of dredging the land to use things that float on the sea, there has been a liquid form of rock, and an underlying principle is being utilized as if what you're traveling on, which is really the easements upon your ancestral estate, easements. It shouldn't be hard. Things shouldn't be rough. There shouldn't be dis-easement by way of highwaymen seeking to see if you contracted with their agencies, which are private. And you got to just really, what I'm saying it the way I'm saying it because I really sacrificed shit. Do you know what it's like to somebody think you're just not thriving in life, but the whole time you're just
Yeah.
getting books, getting documents, making these
Just
lectures,
popping.
making sure you do this. You feel me? People seeing you in the same clothes 3-4 times in a row, and they just think, this ain't Dirty Moor. He's a dirty man. His tassel's dirty. He must be a dirty Moor. Let me tell you something. Cancer rules mining, mining. In chapter 12, Yeshua spoke a parable because the people were like, tell us more about the Father God Allah we can meet in the heart. What he was saying is he was using the concept pertaining to mining to say that there was a guy that was walking by. He was a miner, M-I-N-E-R, right? So when you think about that, your mind should go, let me take a break from reading the Quran for a second. Okay, this is a miner. So this guy must really know earth. He must could really, because he works in it every day. He's boring it. To bore means to dig a hole, dig a tunnel. So he's boring the earth every day. So how I usually tell the story in about chapter 12, because it's one of my favorites, because the Quran for me is comedy. It really is. Because I don't have a guilty conscience when I'm reading it. So I don't approach my studies in guilt.
Yeah.
So when I'm reading the Quran and I ain't gonna talk trash. Let's do it. Let's get chapter 12 real quick. I'm gonna grab chapter 12, grab the Quran, 2 seconds. Baby, where I put it's in my book bag. Hold on here. Grab this Quran real quick. And I'm gonna check this chapter 12 out real quick. I got it, right? And again, shout out, man. Like I said, that no matter what, no matter how things, transpires, we continue to move forward. Man, I'm letting you know. Shout out to those that I've met 7 years ago via rvbaypublications.com. Shout out to brother Sheldon Okito Archer L, because he was the one that was sharing all that stuff on Facebook Messenger before Messenger was a separate app that you had to get if you wanted to use it. It was already attached to it. You know what I mean? It was so different back then. Because I'm able to see certain things. So all right, I have my Koran right here, right? All right, so I have my Koran, and I've been using my Koran. For y'all that don't know, I'm gonna cover certain things here to protect my baby, but I documented her manifestation in our Quran. Okay, so I have it here. Sekhmet has it in hers. Alrighty, because that's a part of family Bible recording. Did the baptismal record.
That's the heritage. That's the heritage.
So no birth certificate, no hospital. It was in that home manifestation. Sekhmet, perineum, ain't tears, no tearing, no complications. As you hear, baby's like, feed me. I'm hungry. So now that's why she's quiet now. However, so we're practicing these things that we see. So I just wanted to, kind of let you guys know that you can do that too. So if I'm doing things and I come across it, that's why I'm showing it as I go along to help you guys have confidence in your exercise. Alrighty, you must be confident in your exercise. All right, so chapter 12, bro. It's comedy to me, bro. Like, and I'm gonna spit it. You know what I mean? How I see it, and you can correct me in any way I'm wrong, bro, bro Cujo. So, all right, so chapter 12, right? All right, so now Yeshua teaches the common people at a spring. Now, when metaphysically in the metaphysical Bible dictionary, a spring deals with thought, a stream of thought. Anytime they referring to water, it's dealing with a thought. So it could be spring where it's water, spring like the season. That it could be that. Tells them how to obtain eternal happiness, right? So in silent meditation, that's how it starts off. So in silent meditation, it says Jesus, Yeshua sat beside a flowing spring. So in silent meditation, he sat beside a flowing spring. So it obviously thoughts is moving, right? It was a holy day. So it was a Friday. You see what I'm saying? Or he was watching something on YouTube, because a flowing spring is streaming. That's how I do it for myself, to try to comprehend stuff, not to be silly, but that's how I look at it. Like, hey man, my man chilling on a Friday watching YouTube. He might be watching Canaanland Moors, right? And many people of the servant cash, you're on his phone, right? You're chilling. He had 7-Eleven on his phone, right? Because that's what they would call a spring, because that's the well you would go to quench your thirst. So it ain't a well no more. It's 7-Eleven or some convenience store. So can you imagine Yeshua at the convenience store outside before he get back in his land conveyance, right? He's looking at YouTube. He's like, man. And then people, you know, serving cash were near that place, right? So they all chilling, you know, everybody getting their food and stuff out of 7-Eleven or whatever. And Jesus saw the hard drawn lines of toil on every brow, in every hand. So that means to me, if you're seeing hard, so they like this, hard drawn lines of toil on every brow, but it said in every hand. So that means they like this? Are they like this? Are they like shh? Are they like this? Are they all walking around like this? Like that's what I'm imagining in my head, right? That's what I'm imagining. Like, wow. All right. So it says that.
Times are hard. Yeah.
You know, yeah. So that's why I'm like, they walking around like this, like okay. So the hard drawn lines of toil on every brow, in every hand. There was no look of joy in any face. Not one of all the group could think anything but toil. Now we're going to change the word toil to chasing the bag. All right, so they don't have no joy in their face because all they can think is, I got to get to the bag, right? And Yeshua spoke the one. He spoke to one. He spoke to one. I want y'all to pay attention to what's about to be said here. Spoke to one and said, why are you all? So, he spoke to one. And asked about everybody. Like, yo, because it must be the culture. It must be the culture. So he's only got to ask one. He doesn't even have to take it. He doesn't even, hey, I'm taking a survey. Can you sign the survey and find out what? No, you only ask one. So he asked one, right? And why are you all so sad? Have you no happiness in life? Quote unquote. Okay. And the mind replied, quote, we scarcely know the meaning of that word. Which word? Right? Because someone could say happiness. He means happiness. We toil to live. So we chase the bag to live and hope for nothing else but to chase the bag. And blood sacrifice the day, because it says bless, the day when we can cease our bag chasing and lay down and rest in the Buddha's city of the pale dead chimpanzees, because it says city of the dead, and you know dead, pale, right? Dead black is pale, right? So that's dead, pale, right? Dead is siwi lither mortu us when you're dealing with color. So you go to metaphysical, you go to Black's Law Dictionary 4th edition, look up color, look up siwi lither mortu us, tie that in with black. Dead in the view of the law, being black. Pale. Dead, right? Versus linguistically, etymologically, black denotes pale. So linguistically, that's death. Pale. Dead, siwi lither mortu us. Or some people say civil liter mortus, but it's siwi lither mortu us, right? In the Latin. And it's a chimpanzee, right? For those of you that have the nigger problem. All right. So that's how I see the city of the dead, Buddha's city of the pale dead monkeys. Yeah, are you a pale dead monkey? Then stop calling yourself black. Because I just gave you 3 levels of how to look at black. Linguistically, pale. In jurisprudence, the science which treats of positive law. Siwi lither mortu us, dead in the view of the law. And anthropologically speaking, in anthropology, dealing with the chimpanzee monkey, right? From my studies thus far. So that's why you probably don't want to call yourself black people. Because you're saying, I'm pale dead monkey people. But anyway, all right. So continuing, number 5. And Jesus's heart was stirred with pity and with love for these poor bag chasers. And he said, quote, man, bag chasing should not make a person sad. Minds should be happiest when they bag chase. When hope and love are back of your bag chasing, then all of life is filled with joy and peace, and this is heaven. So when people be like, "What's heaven?" Heaven is when love and joy is back in your bag chasing. Now, some people may disagree with that because I'm reading the Quran and it seems like I'm changing the words. No, I'm giving an amplified.
You know that's what they're gonna.
Huh?
You know that's what they're gonna say.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
that's what they're gonna say.
yeah, yeah. So I'm giving an
You
amplified
changing,
version.
you changing the Quran.
Right, right. No, I'm amplifying. So you can put brackets around the things that's not there. Imagine you're putting brackets around it
Yeah,
like the amplified version of the Bible does to give editorial
right.
exegesis, so to speak, as some Moors would like to use that term. Right? So
Yeah.
with that being said, um, do you not know that such a heaven is for you? All right, so he's asking them. So he's like, look, man, y'all should be happy while y'all doing this. So the mind replies, of heaven we have heard. So it's hearsay. That's inadmissible in court. So them hearing about it is not allowing them to have it. In the moment that Yeshua is asking these questions, right? In the moment that he's searching their mind. You know, and that's another thing. When people ask you for license or information and stuff like that, just ask them one simple question and don't be rude. Do you have a warrant for that search of my mind? Do we have a contract? You have a delightful day. Like, I'm just, if you can demonstrate that. Continuing. Uh, the mind replied, of heaven we have heard, but then it is so far away and we must live so many lives before we can reach that place. Exclamation point. He's exclaiming that, right? So and Jesus says this on number 8. If y'all reading along in chapter 12, this is where it gets funny to me. All right. Because now I'm imagining I'm around the corner on somebody's like stoop at the row houses, and we all like outside chilling, just like chatting or whatever. And Yeshua says in number 8, my brother, man, your thoughts are wrong. Like, can you imagine? Like, yo, it's so we talk like that now. My brother, man, your thoughts are wrong. Like, yo, just tell him straight up in number 8, your heaven is not far away, and it is not a place of meets and bounds, so it can't be measured and it don't have boundaries. It is not a country to be reached. It is a state of mind. It is a state of mind. It is a state pertaining to your man, because man is mind, right? All right. 9, all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. Because for me, father is the process which mother uses. God is to call upon. Allah is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. For me, that's how I see Father God Allah, because it helps me to reconcile things I need for myself, for me to build my character. And if I'm sharing something and you can see that you can glean from that or grab something from it, then do so, provided that you're utilizing it to help you in your character building journey. All right, so let me continue, and then because I know we're coming up on the last couple of minutes, so I just want to get through this real quick. All right, so in that, yeah, it's a state of mind. Allah never made a heaven for a mind, never made a hell. We are creators and make our own. We are creators and make our own heaven or hell. We are creators and we make our own heaven or hell. All righty. 10. Now cease. That means stop. Cut it out. To seek for heaven in the sky. Stop it. Because remember, chapters 2 through 19 are the 18 years that's missing out of the Bible. Because you see Yeshua when he's 12, and then you don't see him again until he's 30. What happened between 12 and 30? The Quran, chapters 2 through 19. That's it. We're not going to complicate it. Continuing. Just open up the windows of the hearts. Right? Because heart and earth is the same word. You just got to transpose the H from the beginning to the end. So that's what that's the underlying thing he's speaking on. That's why he speaks in parable about a miner digging into the earth, so that the people can get the concept of them being the miner that needs to dig into their own heart, dig into themselves, go within. Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore, east is within. The metaphysical definition for east is within, right? Continuing. A heaven will come and bring a boundless joy. Pardon me. Let me go back. is open up the windows of the hearts, and like a flood of light, a heaven will come and bring a boundless joy. Then bag chasing, toil, will be no cruel task. 11. The people were amazed and gathered close to hear this strange young master speak, imploring him. Hey, man, hold up, man. Hey, bro. Hold on, man. Come back and spit that shit. Yo, hold on, yo. Let me get my cousin. Hey, Tom, come here. Listen to what this motherfucker said right here, man. That's what's happening, right? All right. Imploring him. Tell them more about the Father, God Allah, about the heaven that minds can make on earth, about the boundless joy. Tell us about those things. 13, right? Because this is what I'm saying. In 8, 9, and 10 that I went over, where Jesus said, you know, my brother, man, your thoughts are wrong, all the way down to, you know, 12 should be no cruel task. 8, 9, and 10. Look at that as the square. For all you people that need to hear about the compass and square in a presentation, that's the square. He got straight to it, because you make straight lines. You get straight to it with the square, right? That's 8, 9, and 10. And 11 and 12, the people are like, tell us more. So you know how you watch Brother Taj's lectures, Cujo, and really the point and purpose of his lecture is it's over in the first 15 minutes, but he spends the other 2 hours and 45 minutes going around his point.
Yeah.
That's the compass. When you have to go around your point, because you have a point on one end of the compass and the other one is a pencil, and you're going around it. So now Jesus has to speak in parable. So he has to go around his point now, because he made it straight. He gave it to you straight. He gave you the square in 8, 9, and 10.
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it. So in 13 through 20 in chapter 12, he goes around his point. And he goes, and Jesus spoke a parable, quote, a certain mind possessed the field, and the soil was hard and poor. By constant toil, he scarcely could provide enough food for his family enough food to keep his family from want. So my man's tilling the ground, planting seeds, nothing's growing, people starving. All right. 15. One day a miner, M-I-N-E-R, who could see beneath the soil in passing on his way. So in my mind, I'm thinking there's somebody that got like the reflective vest on, Cujo, and the hard hat hanging from his handlebars on his Huffy. And as he's moving, right, and he's going, is he trying to plant food? Like, you feel me? All right. So in passing on his way, saw this poor mind in his unfruitful field. He called the weary toiler and he said, quote, my brother, know you not that just below the surface of your barren field, rich treasures lie concealed? My man be spitting. He was rapping too. Not only is a miner, but he's quite a poet, you know. So that's pretty cool, right? Right. This is just you telling the story. All right. So we're at 17 now. So 13 through 20, Yeshua's telling this parable. You plow and sow and reap in a scanty way, and day by day you tread upon a mine of gold and precious stones. This wealth lies not upon the surface of the ground, but if you will dig away the rocky soil and delve down deep into the earth. That's your heart. Delve down deep into the earth, but it's saying earth, but I see heart already. You need no longer till the soil for naught. N-A-U-G-H-T is falsehood. So when we say, quoting Prophet Noble Drali, man knows naught, N-A-U-G-H-T, which is actually a classic maxim. Man, which is mind, the mind knows naught, N-A-U-G-H-T, which is falsehood by being told. So how does the mind know falsehood by being told? How is man knows naught by being told? That's what we were saying earlier. What you eat doesn't make us defecate. If I eat something, you're not going to poop it out. So I can sit here and tell you how much this apple pie tastes great, but I can't go, Cujo, does this apple pie taste great? If Cujo says yes or no, he's lying because he's not tasting you. Do you get what I'm so that's what that is there. All right. So the mind believed, right? So now we're at 19. So the man believed. So when he believed, he said, the miner surely knows. So my thing is, how does he know this guy is a miner? Because only in Yeshua's story is he saying this is he's a minor. I want to know, but anyway, Yeshua was just trying to tell the story to get the people to grasp a point real quick, to correct their concepts, so that their toil doesn't seem like, man, so they ain't looking like this, because they don't like there's joy on their face. All right. Surely the miner knows, and I will find treasure hidden in my field. Man, this man's so broke he's believing anything. But however, it must be the spirit of the miner. You see what I said there? The spirit of the miner that inspired the poor toiler to listen, not just hear. Hearing is a sense. Listening is a skill.
Yep.
All right. And then he dug away the rocky soil and rocky soil, and deep down in the earth, he found a mine of gold, right? That's funny because gold, and he said dig in the earth, which is heart. Heart is ruled by Leo. Leo's ruled by the sun. The alchemical metal for the sun is gold. 21. And Jesus said, the sons pertaining to mines, so the sons of men, are toiling. They're chasing the bag hard on desert plains. When they say desert plains, meaning nothing that's going to yield you any real fruit. And burning sands and rocky soils, and doing what their fathers did, not dreaming they can do truth else. Aught, A-U-G-H-T, aught else, truth else, right? So behold, a master comes and tells them of a hidden wealth, that underneath the rocky soil of carnal things, the treasures that no mind, of the carnal soil things, carnal things are treasures that no mind can count, right? 23, that in the heart, now it says it, I want you to pay attention to, heart isn't really mentioned, I don't think. If I go back in chapter 12, let me see if I see heart, because he keeps saying earth. Earth keeps being said. So you can even check the actual way that chapter 12 is written. The only time it says heart is when I think it says 5, and Jesus's heart was stirred with pity. Other than that, we're only speaking on digging into the earth, and then the word heart, I think, comes up again. Hold on, let me just make sure. But it doesn't come up again until 23. Degree 23. I don't see the word heart. Which 23. Was a way, this is another way of studying when you read. Sometimes you look for rhythm in the way that something was written, because it'll have almost a type of haiku type of structure, or some type of some other type of poetic structure or whatever. And you go into 23, it says that in the heart the richest gems abound, that he who wills, there's that willful ignorance. So if you will, you're gonna be successful. But if you will to be ignorant, then you're not. But it's saying here that in the heart the richest gems abound, that he who wills may open the door and find them all. So, hey man, how we gonna come together and do? Well, when you take your own decision, take your own will to, find the wealth, then, to open the door, and you'll find all of them. 24. And then the people said, quote, make known to us. Now, now they're saying make known. In 8, 9, and 10, when he gave them the square, just gave it to him straight, right? At 8, 9, and 10, they implored him at 12. Minute 12, or some will say verse 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. So they went from at 12 imploring him to tell them more. Now at 24, they're like, make known to us. You see the difference in their tone? You see the difference in their spirit? You see what I'm saying? And this is the things we are to use to take within ourselves to build our character, because all of the members of the church are within us, because we are the temple. Church, temple, circle, all that's, we're not supposed to, hey, let me take this and try to rule all the people and and determine your self-determination by my mind. No. Even when you see me, hey guys, I'm doing a Meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, it's so that we can come together and check this stuff ourselves. And yeah, I'm sharing my concepts, but what do you see? Because I might not see something. Because that's how I've learned. My mindset is based on studying things you shared, Cujo. Roz, Anna, Eden, Miz on the blog talk. Brother Taj, Abdullah, we already know, man, these different things that we've consumed. So this makes us who we are because we've been able to take what is necessary for us in our man know thyself path. Lastly, oh, Shinka, bud. All right, so here we go. And then the people say, make known to us the way that we may find the wealth that lies within the heart. And Yeshua, Jesus, opened up the way. The bag chasers saw another side of life, and bag chasing became a joy. So Islam. So I'm going to say lastly, and then I'm going to yield because I know we're coming up at the 2 hour mark, bro. So with that being said, with everything that we're doing, the first thing Brother Cujo started out with was asking about, the situation nationally when it came to, he asked about who around the colonists or the rise of the Moors. And I told you that my answer really, like, deep, man, God, it just really, I know that shouldn't have gone that way, how they mistreated Brother Jamal. He was completely mistreated.
Yeah.
So that's my stance. I don't have to say anything because you guys know it seems like I talk a lot, but when it comes to really making things happen and getting straight to the point, I'm a man of very few words because I know what the result is supposed to be. Do you know what I'm saying? And speaking of certain elders back in the day, when things happen like this with Moors, elders was calling Moors all over the land like, hey, get your ass up here and so and so and so and so got, stopped by so and so and so. We need everybody to show out. However, we do need to get to a point in our studies where it's almost like the Ashkenazi. You don't see yarmulkes in central booking. You don't see people with, their talik. They don't have their talik and their little tassels hanging off of their sides or whatever, which is part of their, divine and national garments. We don't see them on the side of the road unless it's AAA assisting them. So the issue is us being a people, we need to be clear on how we are to conduct ourselves. So before you try to sit there and have a certain, to the new Moors, again, getting back to what Brother Cujo was saying, instead of trying to start a group yourself. Take everything that you can learn about Prophet Noble Drew. For me, it was Prophet Noble Drew Ali and CM Bay. I grabbed all their literature. I wanted to meet them in their literature after I saw a video of Brother Todd saying, meet these people in their literature. And then grasping that concept, and I was like, okay, I get it. Met Prophet Noble Drew Ali and CM Bay in their literature, and then what I was able to do was correct myself first, use the rules and regulations and principles pertaining to the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, adopting as its corporate name Moorish Science Temple of America, within my own behaviors, so that when I do come across other Moorish Americans, then I'll be in alignment. Whether other Moors are in certain alignments or not, we will be remembering the bonds of affection that tie us back to love and unity. Again, back to chapter 25. So I trust that we did some good today, and I said enough things that even when people go back and look at it and take notes, you'll be able to see certain things. We already know, guys. It's the information is down at the bottom. Brother Cujo has scrolling for myself and my wife. You guys want to get in contact with us, but usually you already know. At Instagram, it's at 7hillstar. You can DM me or 7hillstar@gmail.com if you just want to just get something real quick to get to me or ask things. But really, at the end of the day, we're really about, hey, if we're going to group up, we can group up in a Zoom meeting, go over these concepts, because it'll be just like us being at a dojo learning Wing Chun and we're sparring, right? Or mock trialing, so to speak, so that wherever we are in the land, even if you're there near Canaanland and I'm here, however, if we discuss principles online via Zoom or over the phone, then you should be able to demonstrate and exercise what you need for yourself and your loved ones, because really this is about family. Because right after man know thyself, in the second paragraph, mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones so that they may learn to love instead of hate their fathers. By these lessons you will set your house in order, and your little ones will learn to love instead of hate. And that's back to the cover to 101. Because if you look at that, you know what I mean, mother being unconscious in the prophet's hands, that could be looked at one way like that. But maybe she's busy teaching in the womb while Prophet Noble Drew Ali is showing the position of the enforcer. It's so many concepts that you can look at different things also with that. So that's why I'm going to yield and say my piece here, and get about from pontificating on my soapbox. And
Islam,
just say, yeah, we should just really just study sincerely. And you got any questions or whatever, and you ask, like 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna invite you to come to a Zoom meeting, so you're not just speaking with me, you're speaking with a few Moors, so that we will be clear in how we are to conduct ourselves in public, whether it is just 2, 3, 5, or 7 of us or more, right? So I yield the floor, Brother Cujo.
Islam. Give thanks once again, more putting that energy out there. Don't forget, again, we got the sites scrolling at the bottom, so make sure you get on there, you know. And we have we're probably gonna go again after this and do some of the chat troll people for round 2.
I missed it.
Oh, it's all good. It's gonna be there, yo. It's crazy.
All right.
People lost their mind, yo. They really don't want to evolve. You know what I'm saying? The stagnancy is bliss. The stagnancy is bliss for these people. But honors to you, Moor. Give thanks. Honors to the Moors in the chat. Islam to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for all the work that he did.
On the way out?
To be right. Oh, let me see if I find that. Yeah, let me see.
I got a request. Find that. I want that Iron Sheet Zion Gate on the way out.
That. Let me find
Yes, that's my jam, yo.
Should be on.
Get that Zion Gate. Oh yeah, I really didn't read that. Yeah, I'm not knocking that. I'm seeing some of these things in the chat. Yeah, man. See, that's the thing too, man. Like, oh, bro, I did this through the temple and I did this without the temple. Guys, will the feet stop arguing with the hands? Because the feet got to get us to the meal that the hands can grab to feed the rest of the body. Can we please stop? No, I'm serious. Like, okay, feet, you get it. You do things feet ways. That's great. You walk and you hold on socks and shoes and shit. That's great. Way to go, feet Moors. Now to the hand Moors. That's great. You're awesome in grabbing things when the feet are there. That's great. That's great. Yay for the hand Moors. There's mouth Moors that have teeth in it. That, you know, those members that have to chew the stuff so that the feet and hands can even have energy to do it again the next day. So can we stop wasting our energy on infighting within the body? I'm serious, y'all. Like, y'all playing yourself, yo. So what? Okay, some of y'all grand major temples. Some of y'all subordinate temple. Some of y'all are Moors that just learned from coming from jail. Do you have a cookie jar, Sekhmet, that we can give people? Because, no, I'm serious. You guys are, stop that shit. Like, please. Like, I'm serious. Stop that shit, man. Like, you're making it hard on us in the energy, in the spirit, yo. I get it. You have to push, okay, come to the temple. Yes, I get it. You have to be industrious. People have to pay their dues. Great, I get that. However, at the same time, you can't violate Act 3 in the process, man. Y'all can't do that, man. Y'all got black fezzes. Y'all calling yourselves sheiks and grand sheiks, man. And it's really juvenile. And this is why, and then y'all think why some new Moors come in and why they ain't getting it right is because, man, it's like the woman caught in adultery in John 8, 1 through 11, man. Y'all doing the same thing. Y'all catching a woman caught in adultery. Here's my question. How you gonna catch a woman throwing that ass in a circle and you ain't bring the dude to get judged? Why? Because you trying to kill Shorty so you can kill Yeshua at the same time. Y'all killing Prophet Noble Drew Ali with this bullshit, man. Stop that. Y'all gotta find a commonality, yo. Okay, y'all the feet Moors. Let's say that's the foundation. The feet is the foundation. All right, that's the temple. We get that, yo.
but you would be able to increase your membership. You stop this fuck shit you doing, yo. Like, you really on some bullshit, y'all. And then those of y'all that's not Temple Moors yet, or not in the temple, I get it. My first experience, yo, like on some real shit, y'all. I don't care. The dude called himself assaulting, you know what I mean? I know he came from near the Baltimore Corporation down in Houston. But yo, come on, you already know, bro. I'm gonna say this directly to you. Again, shout out to Brother Walter Bay, but I know all y'all clicked up together or whatever. You feel me? Yo, I'm gonna let you know my first experience in the temple, yo, when that brother pulled a dagger out of his desk and said that if it come out its sheath, it can't go back into it unless there's blood on it. Bro, whatever Masonic quips you spitting cool, that's cool and all, but I wasn't even there on that frequency, which lets me know, yo, you was already operating in the spirit that wasn't love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That was one of my first lessons, yo, before, right after I declared and proclaimed my nationality, and I wanted to go to a temple that was just around the corner from me, yo. You feel me? So y'all gotta stop that bullshit, yo. Like, a lot of times I don't speak on shit with this kind of energy for real, yo, because I'm not we don't need that, yo. Y'all are abused enough. This is why we have the issues we have. The reason why the temples are going the way they're going is because people are using abused mindsets to attract membership.
Yeah.
Come on, yo.
And it would never work.
You feel me? Like, come on, yo. That's why you think I'm out here with puppets and shit, man. You think I'm gonna let a grown ass man, you know what I mean, ain't doing shit really but fucking with some puppets, yo? Like, yo, y'all want some bullshit, man. Only reason I ain't quit this, man, when it came to declaring and proclaiming my nationality, because I really looked at the way Roz and Anna, Ida, Cujo, and Miz did what they did. I'm looking at it like, yo, that's tough love, and I ain't no bitch. You feel me? I can deal with that, yo. You can't stop getting beat here, yo. What is y'all doing, yo? Like, that shit is frustrating, yo. Like, a lot of times, yo, even suck matter see me sitting here and she be like, baby, yo, don't even worry about that shit. They ain't got nothing to do with us. We gotta feed our family. However, it's just like, yo, my you feel me? You feel me? Like, she be, yo, she cold-blooded, yo, straight to the point, and she got a good fucking head on her shoulders, bro. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes I be like, hey, yo, like, come on, yo, it's principles to this shit, yo, like, unspoken manhood shit, yo, that y'all really, like, yo, chill out, yo. We don't disrespect y'all that's out there doing what y'all doing, yo, but what y'all not doing is bridging the gap between the generations because y'all on some dogmatic shit. Okay, check this out. Ain't none of y'all been around that's right now been walking with the prophet, yo. Everybody going off of hearsay, yo. So stop the bullshit, yo, and use your gift of discernment in the spirit, yo. Because that's what we got to use to fight the hearsay so that we can come together and unify, yo. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, I think it's page 1703 on unity, yo. If it's not 1703, yo, double check me, yo. But I think it's 1703 unity, yo. And you really need to read what unity is, yo. Because it's dealing with the law of estates. We can't be sitting here talking about estates and trust, yo, and we acting like we don't trust each other, yo, because that's what that shit look like to me. And if it look like that to me, yo, then it's going to look like that to master masons that are juristic jurors of some sort over your culture. You're really into your zodiac constitution, and you wonder why when you go certain places or do certain things, they give you the, nah, we're going to keep the gate closed, because you're not exuding the spirit that you really bout this life. You just got on the colorful robes and shit. Chapter 9, you upbraiding Jesus, man. So what? Jesus is there teaching in chapter 9. He's teaching the thoughts. That's the courtesans. He's teaching the stick-up boys. That's the thieves. And he's teaching the scammers. That's the extortioners. And because you sitting there claiming you walking with Jesus and you a direct disciple, and he's sitting there and these sisters got their titties out, and these scammers over there doing what they have done from the earlier day, but you're not paying attention to something. While Jesus is teaching, nobody's thotting, nobody's scamming, nobody's stick-up boying. Did you notice that? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's boy, yo, I'm a 7-year-old, man. Like, what the fuck is we doing, yo? That's why I said earlier about the Rise of the Moors situation, yo. Y'all did everything in y'all will, yo, to show some bullshit and infighting when all y'all could have did was show all the contributions this brother made, yo. Y'all ain't learned government yet. You fucking around on some bullshit, yo. And
Yep.
you really risking people's lives with that and don't really realize because y'all looking at the immediate microwave result. I'm a stovetop stuff kind of dude, yo. I like my shit to slow cook. You feel me? I know stuff take time, yo. I planted a peach nut out there 3 years ago, yo, and now the squirrels ate all my peaches. I'm mad about that, but guess what I'm happy about? I got a fucking peach tree. What have you
Shit.
planted?
Islam.
Bullshit, Joe. You know, Cujo, I was trying to get. Damn, Cujo, I wasn't trying to give them that part, Joe, because you know me like that, yo. Like when it really come down to it, Joe, I
Well, it's
really
all
don't
good.
take
I
that
got
shit.
that. I got it. I got it queued up. I got your outro music here up, queued up.
I yell, Joe. Yeah, man, Zion Gate, Joe.
I got your outro music queued up.
Zion Gate, Joe.
Iron sheep standing in front Zion gates. Heaven's Gate guardsmen. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one oak and henchman Adi squadron. Rouge was on stage to the crowd, I'm a marksman. Crosshair, your pioneer, my dress shoes are Crocs, man. No square foot shoes, rappers dressed like cowboys. In tight jeans like Aerosmith, my time's now, boy. Y'all been on the mic, some of y'all fell off the stages. You got the engines wrecked, so they got me on your cases. Got me on the humble, but if you get it twisted, who will make you crash your car and blast you with spirits? No fear none, no fear none. Ritualistics make rapping dummies limper than some wet biscuits. Rise you like biscuit, your bank account doubles. For talking arms out and making youths get in trouble. You don't have to believe it, I call it as I see it, call me Simon. The more carrying the cross for pale Jesus. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman Adi squadron. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman Adi squadron. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the IHF and 2CMP squadron. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one repping for the one. Hey yo, handshake dead man, we all grown up. Lousy doing the art, Sep won the Grey Cup. Demolition man, a married man called royalty. Vending at my lectures, showing their loyalty. Agents try to flop it and bump into Orishas. Give you their nightmares like deep sea creatures. Give you bad cancel karmic credit. If I put your name on it, you never said it. You wish I just did it. You plotted and you schemed. I saw you visualizing the golden beam. Look through the stargate, a glimpse of the future made me see a judgment. And tell the thugs not to shoot ya. Medallions on string, thinking I'm a cheap. Fake Ross get locked, cut off like Buddhist beefcake. Fake Nuwapian get slapped with Dark Circle 7 and branded with Noble True Ali as a lesson. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman Adi squadron. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman squadron. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the IHF and 2CMP squadron. Zion Gate opener, Heaven's Gate guardsman, repping for the one repping for the one